Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing out there? Andrew Hawks here, author of Rivers of Gold, How to Create Multiple Income Streams, and of course, voice of Skyway and Vest Group in the English-speaking world. Guys, have you been paying attention to what's going on? Oh, it looks like it's going to rain here today. It looks there's some pretty dark clouds out there, so I'm pretty sure we're going to get a decent thunderstorm this afternoon, which of course, hey Heron, how you doing, brother? Which of course will make it interesting this weekend for what's going on here on the Gold Coast, the GC 600 racing on down there, so a little bit of rain will make that incredibly interesting in the concrete jungle that they have there. Yo, Brad, I see you in there too, Des, how are you all? Hey guys, if you guys have not been paying attention, well, if you have been paying attention, you'll see that there's been some pretty awesome announcements come out over the last few days, and it's incredibly exciting. We're close to an end game here. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of thunder, bro. We're close to an end game here with regards to funding for Ecotech Park. Now, there was a massive announcement that came out yesterday, I believe it started dribbling through. Hey, Dibsy, how you doing, man? Yeah, hello from Canada. Hey, Hillary, how you? So, the announcement that sort of came out, Rita posted it in a couple of our different groups that we've got going on, and it's some really, really exciting stuff. So, if you just wanted to reiterate exactly how important that announcement was. Now, what it said in the paragraph or the article that Rita shared was, look, there was land, all this, the contract and everything was signed in April, and we kind of knew that, but nothing was allowed to be said. And of course, move forward, it's not just one parcel of land that we've got the UAE, it's two. It's 25 hectares, which is in a city, it's undisclosed, or it's been one of the worst kept secrets. It's not too far from Dubai, but it's a city that's there that's going to be like an innovation centre and a science centre. It's going to be an education centre where people can come in and learn about the technology, learn about being ecological and all that sort of thing, and how to continue to grow and evolve. Not just themselves personally, but how to use the technologies that we've got with the soil, because that's a big one that most people don't even realise. You know, we're growing a lot of different apple trees up in Belarus because we've created this really, really awesome organic soil, and the way to do that globally, to be able to provide nutrient-rich soil to grow things. So that's really, really important. So we've got that education centre there. That's in that first 25 hectares. And of course, then we've got another 200 hectares that's been gifted, right? It's been gifted to the company by the UAE to establish the high speed, to get that out there, to get it tested, to get it certified. But not just that, for the Unicorn as well, so we can transport 20 to 40 foot containers. Now, Craig asked me a question this morning. He goes, oh, is it going to be able to transport cars? Well, I guess so, if we can get cars and containers. Hey Wayne, how you doing? If we can get cars and containers, then of course we're going to be able to transport cars. Why wouldn't you? Obviously, it kind of makes sense. But it was still a good question, because some people will be thinking, well, could it? And yeah, I guess, you know, I don't know for sure, but you know, if it can carry containers, you can put cars in there. So it's probably a logical thought. Now that's 200 hectares, as I said. Now, there's something else there, right? We had a video that was released not so long ago about the Hyper U, which is something that can travel up to 1,600 kilometers an hour, and it's similar to the Hyperloop, I guess, but it can go underwater, it can go under land, it can go above land, and of course they're going to demonstrate all of this in that 200 hectares in the UAE. So that's an incredibly exciting time. What you guys probably don't or haven't considered is that we're really, really close to that end time now. Unitsky doesn't need, probably, okay, I'm surmising, I don't know for sure. Actually, I was meant to do a disclaimer right at the start of this, so let me put the disclaimer in now. Anything that I say about figures are for illustrative purposes. There's nothing guaranteed about what I'm saying, okay? But anyway, back to what I was saying. Unitsky, and this is my hallucination about what Unitsky could be thinking, he probably doesn't need us anymore. And when I say that, I mean he's probably got more than enough funding to be able to complete what he needs to complete. The reason it's still open is because he does have altruistic views. He does want to see that we go out and prosper. And I think that's incredibly important to remember. So Mila did a webinar in September of 2018. So it's only last month that she did it. And there was a couple of really, really good points raised on it. I'm going to come back and touch on those in a sec. But think back. We've all been told that our original valuation back in 2014, based on 100,000 kilometres of track, was only based on 3 types of transport, and I've said this before, was only based on 3 variants of transport, was just over $400 billion. Cool, awesome, sweet. We've also been told that the latest valuation that we had at EcoFest that was just completed, based on everything that we have right now, if we were to sell everything right now, is $5 billion. Okay, cool. We've worked out that the capitalisation on that with the money that's gone in is roughly 5,000%, which is enormous, it's huge. Fast forward to where we are right now. What's been completed in the last 2 years, and of course it was on the 17th of October, I think it was the 17th, might have been the 16th, was the 2-year anniversary for the 0 point at Belarus, right? They had that massive ceremony up at Belarus where they had 0 point, it was marked all the thing. What they have achieved in the last 2 years up in Belarus is no short of amazing. They've got 4 types of transport that are working up there. They've created a drone that can lift 1.5 tonne. It has a capacity, right? They've developed a Unimobile, what do they call it? The disabled car where you can be in a wheelchair. The wheelchair is actually part of the car, so you don't even have to get out of it. You just roll in, plug yourself in and drive. That's awesome. The market for that, the market potential for that loading is enormous. Forget about all the other stuff. Just that part is enormous, right? Okay, cool, sweet. So, let's look now at what I just said about that valuation back in 2014, based on 3 types of transport, based on 100,000 kilometres of track laid. Okay, actually no, it wasn't even laid, it was contracted. Okay, so now fast forward to where we are right now. In the report that has just been released about the 2 plots of land in the UAE, the 25 hectares and the 200 hectares, hey Geordie, how you doing? And the 200 hectares, was also announced that there were multiple targeted projects contracted. Everyone's talking about contracts. They go, oh, but we haven't seen any contracts. No, but there are contracts there, clearly. People go, well, there's no contracts. Well, there is, and there's multiple ones starting, not at the end, not at the completion of what's happening in the UAE, at the same time, simultaneously starting at the same time. So why am I giving you all this information? Well, guys, this should have you bouncing off the walls. And if there's any of you still sitting on the fence, you haven't got long to make a choice. So again, I'm going to talk to my friends just for a second here. Guys, I'm not going to say it again. Please don't come to me in 2 to 5 years' time and go, Andrew, why didn't you tell me? Because you will definitely be kicking yourself. So let me share some other figures with you. We've said $400 billion. That was based in 2014, based on 3 types of transport. We now have a drone to add to that. We've now got the high speed to add to that. Well, there's 2 others. We've got the Unimobile to add to that. We've now got a new variant of Unicar. We're going to have a luxury Unicar that's going to be released. Hey, Neil, how you doing? There's going to be a new luxury Unicar that's going to be released. There's the Hyper-U that's going to be released. There's the university that's going to be set up in the UAE, or the Science Centre, the Innovation Centre. All of these things. And we know, hey, Renee, how you doing? And hey, Lynn, and we know, right? We know that the UAE, Dubai in particular, is like a looking glass to the world. Every little bit of innovation that happens around the world actually happens in Dubai. It is known as the most innovative city in the world. Now, what we've seen at Ecotech Park with our transport has been, sort of 5 feet off the ground. That was really only for testing purposes. It's going to be much, much higher than that in Dubai, and we're going to see that inside the next 2 to 5 years. Now, I wanted to come back. Remember the things I've said about the valuation. Remember, if you watched my live last week, I said about 20% of the company going to the market and how the public are going to drive that price. It's no longer in the hands of the consultants or the accountants or the auditors or anything like that. Once it goes to IPO, it is in the hands of the public, and the public will drive that price. So come back to the webinar that Mila did in September. Now, she mentioned with all the innovations that we've got that are going on, right? Hey, Henry, how you doing? All the innovations that we've got going on, all of the new advancements that we've made in the last 2 years. In fact, probably only the last year, realistically, with all the savings and things that they created. During that webinar, Mila said, it wouldn't be, we know that we've got a $400 billion valuation, that we won't go to IPO until Unitsky can guarantee that it's $1. Okay, and I'll say there's no guarantees, but we'll go to IPO when they can say it's going to be $1 per share. Awesome. If you've got 100,000 of those bad boys, pipes, if you've got 1 million of them, imagine what that means. Okay, great. Now consider what Mila said, and consider what I've just said for a second. Just imagine. What Mila said on that webinar was, it would not be inconceivable to see the price go to $100 to $500 in the next 2 to 7 years. Just think about that. No, I'll only be 48. I'll still be a young man. That's pretty enormous. Imagine if you had 1 million pipes and it went to $500. Imagine if it went to $100. Imagine if it went beyond that. Just imagine. Then stop and think for a second, because most of us have never ever, most of us, I won't say all of us, most of us have never ever been exposed to that sort or level of income or money. What are you going to do with it? really stop and think about it for a second, because it's a massive, massive question. Most of us are happy if we find 20 bucks under the couch. We put on a pair of pants that we haven't worn in weeks and we go, holy shit, there's 10 bucks in here. We get excited about that. Are you going to be excited if you've got $100 million worth of equity in a company that is going to revolutionize the world? Yeah? Already imagined, Hillary? Yeah, right. And I'm sure you've got half of it spent too already. But think about the good things that we can do with that. Have you started thinking about how you're going to preserve that wealth? Have you started thinking about how you're going to diversify that and put it into other things to continue to grow it? Because that's what our education teaches. And if we're not getting that foundational education down pat, what's the point? Because it's going to be, and look, I've said this to a lot of people, unfortunately, this opportunity is going to be like lotto for a lot of people, because they won't have paid attention to what is available in the education. And they'll get past that first 6 months, the early investor lockout, and they'll sell everything. And that's really sad, because most of those people that sell everything will end up with nothing in 3 years. Whereas if they stop, consider, and went, okay, hey Dad, how you doing? If they stop, consider, right, this is what I've got. It's going to continue. These dividends are going to continue to come in. Sure, take some of it out and diversify it and put it somewhere so that you can continue to grow that other places. Now, I can honestly say without word of a lie, I've already taken the education that's been provided with Skyway Invest Group, and I have multiple other money taps growing. Now, when I get it to a certain point, I take that capital out of the first money tap, right? I've started all these money taps with the same bit of capital, because I start the money tap, I get the capital out, it continues to grow. I then put that capital into something else and get it to a point where I've got enough to bring it out and it's continuing to grow. I then put it into something else. I'm preserving my capital. It's taught in our education. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit off track. What I really wanted to say in this live was that announcement should have you all bouncing off the walls. This is what we have been waiting for. This is people going, it's happening. Outside the next 6 months, you will not be able to get into this unless you go and buy stocks after the IPO. And you won't get them for less than $1. We know that. But likely, you won't get them for less than 100. And like Neil, my good mate Neil has said countless times, he said it in all our master profits that we've done. Most of you will get a phone call from someone offering you ridiculous amounts of money for your equity. Like money you could never ever imagine, more than what you're thinking right now. Don't be a fool. Don't listen to those voices and don't sell them, because that's that 1% of the people that are trying to get in touch with you so they can control this. Remember, only 20% of this company is going to the market to start with. Yanitsky's going to retain 51% within him and his companies. That's the controlling factor. He does not want to be Steve Jobs. Well, I wouldn't want to be Steve Jobs either when you can create something like this. Oh, I didn't even mention the hyperwheel, right? Which is the interplanetary system, taking all harmful industry out of space. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, have you even thought about that? You know, I've said it before, and it was after we came back from Dubai in March after the cruise, right? We were just sitting around candidly, and I said, oh, should we have a wager? I reckon we'll go 10 quid at IPO. And I heard, oh, 50. And then I heard somebody else go, no, it'll be at least 100. And this is somebody that should know. You know, this isn't someone who exaggerates on what they think it will be. They're very conservative on what they say, and they still went, yeah, 100 quid, easy. And the more I've learned about IPOs and the more I realize that really the public drive that price, I don't think it's going to be any issue to get that. So you guys all should kind of be excited. Now, don't let greed get ahead of you now and go, oh, I need to get more. No, share it with other people and say, guys, if you want to put more into it, then help others get into it. Help people get into it. I've done it. I know Neil's done it. I know multiple people that have done it. But this is too good an opportunity for anyone to just pass up on. We got too many good things going on to dwell on the negative shit that's happening in the world. We collectively have the power to change all of the bullshit that's going on and create some massive difference in the world, to create some momentum, some flow. We have that power, but only when we choose to stand up united together and make it happen. All of us. It's our responsibility. Remember that word responsibility is literally the ability to respond. If you look at etymology, that's how it breaks down. Response, ability. Respond, ability, the ability to respond. If you guys can walk, if you can talk, if you can share with other people, if you can see, if you can hear, you have the responsibility. You have the ability to respond and assist other people to get ahead in life. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. We are living in incredibly exciting times. And if you haven't started yet thinking or imagining realistically what you're going to do with that money or how that money is going to affect you, then it's time to start thinking about it. Because you're going to be able to do a lot of good with it. And it's a lot closer than you think. This isn't some distant shit. This isn't happening in the future. Well, it is happening in the future, but it's not happening in 20 years. It's happening now. It's happening now. You know, Tony O'Neill, oh, bless her socks. She shared a song yesterday, and it's she shared the lyrics of a song. She goes, I can't help but think that this was written for us. And Neil knows the song, and Sarah knows the song, and I know the song, and anybody that's watched The Greatest Showman knows the song. A Million Dreams. And if you go and watch those lyrics or read those lyrics, you're just like, holy shit. And I've thought that from the time I saw that to the very first time, I was like, oh my God, this is my life playing out right now. And it's your life playing out right now too. Are you pumped up? Yeah. Oh, good, Harry, good. Hey, Liam, how you doing? Hey, sorry if I haven't said g'day to everybody that's jumped on. There's quite a few people on this one. So I hope that information has been absolutely valuable to you. I know I'm pumped up. I know I'm excited because I know what's about to happen. No, I thought I just had a V8, but it wasn't. It was a motorbike. Still, they were going quick. It sounded good. But yeah, guys, go out and share this opportunity. Change some people's lives. Anyway, hey, Nicole in the US, how are you? I'll probably be seeing you in a couple of weeks, I am sure. Rita and I heading on our way up there. Oh, so while I am here, I just want to do a big shout out to Willie and Marshall. Willie, obviously in South Africa in Johannesburg, put on a massive event there last week. I was lucky enough to be invited to be up there. Of course, Marshall came over and spoke as well. Marshall, absolute champion, mate. And Sunil, all your people that were there, lovely, lovely people. So that was a really, really cool event. Let's continue to grow on those. There's an event in Melbourne tonight, I believe, at the CoSpace. At WeWork there. There's one coming up in Sydney on the 28th. There's something in Kaitaia tonight, I believe, or tomorrow night. Might be tomorrow night. Neil will put a comment in there to correct me on that. Sydney next week, the 28th. And, of course, there's one in Wellington next week as well. Actually, Neil, if you are still watching, if you could chuck the date in the comments for that, that would be awesome too. But, guys, make sure you invite people to these events. Got something pretty exciting. It's not 100% confirmed yet. We're at about 80%. But it's going to take about a week or 10 days towards the end of the year. It'll be leading up to the Christmas party, or to the National Summer Celebration, which, of course, is going to be our biggest go-to event here in the Asia-Pacific region this year. Obviously, we've got another one coming up next year. There'll be details out about that for Kuala Lumpur. It will come out next week. That is going to be a massive event as well. But for all the Asia-Pacific region, for anyone that considers himself a leader, then obviously they need to be at this go-to event, the National Summer Celebration, because it's for all of the region. So that's going to be a good day, but leading up to that, we've got something incredibly exciting. I can't announce it yet because it's not, as I said, 100% confirmed. Once it is 100% confirmed, thank you, Ainsley, Perth, on the 23rd and 30th of October for events. Once it is 100% confirmed, this lead up to the event, I will let everybody know. It is incredibly exciting what's happening, and we'll potentially have a very, very special guest of honour at that event, and of course at the Christmas dinner as well. Anyway, guys, that's me for today, before the rain starts, because I need to go out and get a flue for my pizza oven and put my Chinaman's hat back on, otherwise it's going to get wrecked. But anyway, have a great day for sure, bouncing off the walls, and yeah, giddy up, Artie, giddy up. Alright guys, have an amazing day. I hope it's sunny and shining wherever you are, or if it's in the middle of the night, maybe it's not. But it's going to rain here pretty soon, and I want to get inside out of that. So guys, have a great day, go forth, share this amazing opportunity, and do so in the knowledge that you are completely financially secure for the rest of your life with this opportunity. Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. You deserve it.